Hey folks, this is Wistful Deal here, and welcome back to the channel. And I'm basically going to be discussing the different plans in this video here and this structure that I have in mind for you folks. I'm still gonna have uploads and everything for whenever I can, but things are going to be a little bit different, and I want you folks to be aware of that and keep in mind, especially throughout the week and everything as we continue along here. So anyways, things are going to be a little bit different, structured wise when it comes to uploads on this channel, mainly because I'm going to be kind of not like terribly busy, but I do kind of have a little bit of a busy life outside of YouTube. So to give you folks a structured idea um, of what to expect throughout the week, let me give you folks this. So on Sundays, there may or may not be an upload. It's kind of a rolling dice kind of deal because it's the weekend, and I mainly like to relax on Sundays, because there's nothing really much, going on. So I'm just gonna be, relaxing, chilling, on Sundays. So there may or may not be an upload. It's kind of a rolling dice thing. But on Mondays, there's definitely going to be an upload. It's probably going to be one of the bigger uploads because I want to have, I want to get a series in place. I've been meaning to do that for a while now. I know I keep saying that. But I want to get, some gameplay in there and everything. So on Mondays or whatever, I may do, like a long AU, for instance, just the more bigger type pieces, on Monday, for when that gets uploaded. Same thing with Tuesdays as well. Tuesdays is kind of a mixed bag, honestly. I may do a big upload or a small upload or just, a regular casual video, just, whatever of the bunch. On Wednesdays, I'm probably not going to be doing really. I don't really do much on Wednesdays anyway, but I'm probably not going to be doing anything on Wednesdays anyway, since that's when I work on Wednesdays. I have a job that I do. I'm a cart, collector, courtesy clerk at my local grocery store, and I put in carts, for the customers. So I'm probably not going to be doing much videos or anything. If I do a video, it's probably going to be simple, basic. If I decide to, Wednesdays are usually pretty laid back and chill anyway. It's not too busy at the store on Wednesdays. Um, Thursdays is going to be different now because I've been hanging out with one of my brothers, and in fact, if you look at today as of the upload of this video here and everything, it is Thursday, and that's been helpful for both of us. We basically hang out together. I have my bike that I showed you folks a while ago. He has a bike, and we've been kind of been bike bros, for last time, and we did it today, and we're probably just going to keep on doing it, all summer and everything. So that's been really nice and beneficial. It helps us both, relax and just have some quality family time as bros, literal, actual bros, bros before hoes and shit, So I may or may not do a video, honestly, probably not exactly. Fridays, Fridays I probably will have an upload, and the main reason why I'm having, this video here today is that I actually have a dentist appointment tomorrow, because I got, another cavity, yay. I need my crown, my permanent crown trimmed a bit, and I need to get my two permanent crowns in because I had another root canal and whatnot. So yeah, so I'm probably not gonna have a video tomorrow since my mouth's gonna be, of course, numb and everything, and I don't really feel like talking or expressing that much, especially when I have a numb ass mouth and everything. Hence, that's why a couple weeks ago, or whatever, I made that dark humored, that dark humored, goofy effed up video of James. Well, it's just something I thought of perfectly. Well, and I just as after I watched his reaction to my stage 2 of All the Leaves of Every Decay and how he was like there was a lot going on. I just really pictured in my head like and cut to post awareness. It's so stupid, but it's just that kind of dark humor that immediately popped in my brain. So I just figured just a little goof or whatever, just to slap that little bit on, just for shits and giggles. Honestly. But yeah. And speaking of all the leaps of every decay, I'm still working on that currently. I'm first doing, a mental check on myself to make sure, not that I have to, but I'd like to do like a mental check to make sure if I'm okay or good or whatever per se, instead of, just diving right on in, and that way I can have like a more accurate of what stage 3 is, along with my post awareness stuff. My goodness, I'm really close to that. That's really gonna be fun for you folks when that shit gets kicked on. Yeah. But yeah, and also, as you folks know, I also work on Saturdays, as well. So no videos on Saturdays. So yeah, overall, this is just basically, a little video to give you folks an idea of when I'll upload. So probably, also I need to change my bio, so about page on this YouTube channel here, because I do have it say every day if I can. I kind of need to change that a bit. So the overall look at it and everything, upload scheduling wise, Sunday may or may not happen, but definitely Monday, Tuesday, and maybe something on Thursday, but definitely Friday. I know that's not like, too much or big or whatever, Monday, Tuesday, and then, Friday, and probably, Sunday here and there too as well. It may not be like, an everyday upload, whatever, but you folks, know and everything that, I got a life outside of this channel here and everything. And besides, I would kind of rather, honestly, give rare gems and stuff and have it be great content and everything instead of just quantity and just keep producing and everything. And I did say in the past before that I don't want this to be like a farm channel or whatever, but honestly I kind of did that, honestly, especially with one of the TikTok rumors of TikTok being banned. Apparently, James keeps saying that TikTok's like going to keep getting banned or whatever. Or he hears it from folks that's going to keep getting banned and banned. But I'm just like, whatever. So yeah. But yeah, I got my own life out here outside of YouTube and stuff. And also, speaking of which and everything, I may or may not work on Mondays. It's kind of hard to say, but probably within a couple months or whatever, I'm gonna be working on Mondays. We'll see around with that and everything. But then I would honestly rather have like I do try to provide videos for you guys and everything, and I do try to keep up to date and everything. And to, provide content that I know, or at least hope you folks will enjoy, and I just try to keep up to speed, but I'm not gonna, you know, like I can't just sit and just, I need to go at my own pace too and everything, and kind of like I said, what I just kind of gave you folks, I kind of have my own, structured thing here too, because I got my stage 3 that I'm still working on, even though I'm almost done with it. I still got that, working on my big to-do list. I got, doctor's appointments and dentists and shit. I got the freaking state stuff, which I'm really pissed off at. That really grinds my gears very hard because I thought I was in the clear and shit. But no, I gotta pay them, so I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and pay them, see what happens. I'm really unhappy with that, but I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, whatever. Can't really do shit with it anyway. So yeah, so not only do I have all of that, but I got, my brother now that I'm hanging out with every week, and I still have my one-on-one, supported living staff, that I hang out with her, 2 times a week, whatever. Hopefully I can get a new staff in and stuff, just to change things up a bit and everything, and plus work and everything. So yeah, so I got, kind of, a bunch of stuff here to do, and stuff of a routine that I'm doing, and plus helping out with the family, helping out with my dad, especially in the summer and everything. It's kind of like a thing here too, and so I'm not trying to like throw this all in at you folks, but I'm just trying to give you folks sort of an idea thing, because I can't just be like, uploading every day constantly and stuff. That's not really how this works. Maybe that's how it used to work way back in the day or whatever, but things are different and change, because if my dad needs help with something, then I'm gonna freaking help him, and like, I got a job to do, which I honestly prefer and like, honestly. I got a job that I, work at and everything, and yeah, just all sorts of different stuff, but overall, I'm gonna still try and go at my pace and everything. I'm not gonna, tire myself out or self burn myself out or whatever over, needing to upload or whatever. Just mainly just going based on how I feel. So yeah, basically, just overall, 3 to 4 videos a week, one a day, and that may change a little bit here and there, but I just want to give you folks mainly an update of what to, look forward to and everything. So yeah, that's basically after what we say and everything. And plus, I figured since I have the dentist tomorrow, and again, since my mouth's going to be, numbing and everything, I'm not gonna probably talk too much. I'm probably gonna make a video either Wednesday or Monday. So yeah, I just want you folks to kind of be up to speed and everything, and to kind of know what's going on, especially when it comes to uploading schedule wise and everything. So yeah, that's basically after where we say. I don't want to drag this out or keep repeating or whatever. But yeah, that's basically after where we say and give you folks kind of a little heads up on and everything. Today's been great and everything. It's nice out and everything, and it was good hanging out with my brother today. So the rest of the day I'm probably gonna relax and everything, work on my stage 3 and shit, and just basically chill. You know, that's kind of mainly the whole thing that I've been slowly kind of gravitating towards. Similar to James and stuff. But yeah, that's basically after where we say and discuss in this video here. So with all that being said and out of the way, thank you folks all so much for watching. If you folks are curious to know what my music project is and everything, or what stage 3 exactly is, I'm basically working on my own dementia music series project. So similar to like Everywhere at the End of Time, or all yeah all the grand memories of all the lovely years. I almost said All the Lips of Every Decay, but I'm like thinking, no, that's Dante, Timberwolf's album, one of my favorites personally, and The Grand Decline. It's basically my own personal Dementia Everywhere at the End of Time fan project. Well, based on the stages, it's a different point of the disease of dementia and shit and everything. I do have a playlist down in the description below, so if you folks are curious on that and everything, and if you want to check out my music or whatever, I'll have the link down in the description for that. So if you folks are ever just curious or interested by chance, you can check that out if you want. But anyway, thank you folks all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you folks don't miss out on a future video or post I make in the future, and that you can always be kept up to date with the channel here and everything. And lastly, as I always say, if you have any requests or suggestions that you want me to go ahead and do, feel free to tell me down in the comments below. But anyway, folks, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe for more, and I will see you all sooner or later. Bye bye, everyone.